You are now listening to the Vitalize Podcast. Hey yo, what up, family? Welcome back to the Vitalize Podcast. You're here with your friendly neighborhood host, Mr. Marcus Black, and I'm so incredibly excited, elated, ecstatic, and all the other E-words to let you know that I'm happy to be in your presence today. So, man, it's going to be a good day. Today's going to be a good day. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I'm going to sing it for you, but I don't feel like singing right now. Listen, if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. So if a friend told you, then listen, sit back, relax, put up your feet, and you family now. There's no such thing as a second-time guest in this community. So now it's time to tell a friend that we here, and let's talk about it. So I just want to take a moment and thank all of you guys thank y'all for tapping in with the social media, man. I see you guys sharing and caring. Sharing is caring. And I would appreciate it if you all would continue doing so. Just tell a friend, man. Say, hey, man, check this out. And feel free. Remember, ratings, reviews, those go a long way. So I know it's an inconvenience, but if you take a moment, man, I really, really appreciate you. And yeah, we're going to have some fun today. So listen, I'm going to let you know up front. This is all positivity all day. So if inspiration, motivation, and affirmation is your thing, I might be for you. But if you prefer gossip and negativity and drama, then I might not be for you, and that's okay. If I'm not your cup of tea, you can go drink some coffee, and that's how I feel about it. So if you're here and you're good, then we can proceed accordingly. And I really want to talk to you guys today about this experience I just had very recently. And shout out to the people who listened to episode 1, by the way. I'm going to tell you about this experience I had. But those of you who actually went and took action towards creating your plan and not focusing so much on a new you, but focusing more on putting yourself out there and going and intentionally making a different choice so that you can make your dream a reality. Shout out to the action takers in the building. Shout out to you, man. Give yourself a pat on the back because you can. Now, this experience I had, January 1st rolled around. It was a new year, not a new me, same old G. You know what time it is, but I actually got to fly out on the 2nd. So it was incredible. And we had dressing, oh my goodness, collard greens. We had black eyed peas. We had cheesecake. It was amazing. Way too much food. But the 2nd, it was time to get back in action. Time to get back to work. And so yours truly hopped on a bird, literally had to wake up at 3 a.m. to leave my house, get to Memphis for my bird to take off at 5:30. So yeah, we left Memphis, headed to Chicago. All roads pointed to Chicago, and there was lots of incredible leaders there for Vit Factor's Ripple Effect. Vit Factor is an incredible organization by my brother and friend, the one and only Caden Vitterini. He's a young CEO, serial entrepreneur with multiple businesses that is doing the most good in lighting fires in the hearts and souls of the next generation of leaders as well. And yeah, he's an incredible speaker. He's an author now. I mean, he's a dope dude. So he hosts this annual event called Ripple Effect. And I was honored when he asked me to be one of the keynotes, the other being an incredible former NFL player. So I'm like, yeah, listen, man, you had me at hello. You had me at keynote, and most importantly, you had me at impact from the Ripple Effect. So I said, yeah, let's pull up. I'm pulling up. Let's make it do what it do. So I get to Chicago. It was cold in Chicago, by the way. Some of y'all was like, yeah, it's cold where you are. It was really cold in Chicago. So it was dope, and I got there and got situated, got acclimated, checked out the venue. Venue was immaculate. It was at Bolingbrook Golf Club. To my people that's in Illinois, you know where that is. So I was like, dang, it's nice. This is really nice. And as I got there, I was thinking about what I wanted to say to this audience, because I did not want to repeat something I've already said before. So I had to make a custom message specifically for that crowd. And it really got me to thinking about like what really matters most in this world. So for you, I'm asking you right now, like, have you ever thought about what matters most? Like, have you thought about what matters most? Have you thought about what it is you should be focused on? Have you thought about the reason why we're here? Why are you here? Why are you doing the work that you're doing? Why are you showing up in the world? Why are you trying to create and curate conversations around any particular topic. Why are you creating content? Why are you starting a business? Why are you creating a nonprofit? Why are you going to school? Why is the question. And when you start thinking about that, it causes you to ponder next level impact. It causes you to really think about my legacy, which is what happens when I leave here, what I leave back in the people who I love most on this planet. And so that led me to this place, and I was like, dang, man, it was a conversation that was worth having with them, and it's one that I'm going to have with you over the next few minutes. So if you're a pens and pads kind of person, now is the time. Get your pens and pads ready, and let's talk about it. So the first question I have for you is, have you ever made a seemingly insignificant decision that turned out to make a really, really big impact? I can remember a time in my life where my family had just moved to a new home in the country. And when we got out to the country, there were lots of things that were different about living there. But there also was one particular thing that I did not expect. And that was this kitten to just pull up on the driveway and just be chilling. And it was just doing that thing that kittens do. Some of y'all are some cat people, so you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a cat person, don't worry. I got you. It was... It just continued to replicate that noise for like 1,000 minutes. I don't know how long 1,000 minutes is, but it feels like a long time. So the kitten just kept on, and I'm like, dang, that poor baby must be hungry. So I was like, no big deal. I go in here, I grab a couple pieces of bread, I throw a couple pieces of bread. Kitten's happy. I go about my day, have a great day, very productive. I get home, I go to sleep. The next morning, I wake up and I'm getting ready to go about my day, and I come outside and I see not one, but 4 kittens. One has become 4 kittens who are outside on my porch making the same noise, singing the same song as the previous kitten. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe it has some siblings. So, you know, they hungry too, poor babies. So I go in, I got a little bit of bread, and I just throw out some bread to the kittens and make it do what it do. I get back in my car, I go about my business, I have a great, incredible, productive day. I get back, go to bed. I wake up the next day, and there are, I kid you not, 444 kittens now on my porch. That might be a slight exaggeration, but you get where I'm going with this. There was a lot of cats. And I've now learned, some of y'all was like, when I said I fed the first one, some of y'all like, oh no, you never feed the cat. Why? Because you know what's going to happen. And yeah, I inherited a whole bunch of cats after that who were coming because they were looking for that grub. But something that was so small, seemingly insignificant, as feeding one kitten turned into adopting an orphanage of kittens because of taking care of them. And I share that as a somewhat comical, version of what the ripple effect looks like. But this is the ripple effect, but I think about life, and I think about in general the things that we make. And many of you know my full life story, so I'm not going to take you all the way back, but there's one particular decision that I made that changed everything. And that decision was the moment that someone reached out to me, a friend, and he talked to me about this new app, social media. I'm like, I'm not really one of those social media heads, bro. I'm good. He's like, nah, man, I'm telling you, get on this app. It's going to change the game for a lot of people. Get on this app. Man, there's celebrities on this app. There's speakers on this app. There's podcasters on this app. He starts naming the names. I'm like, man, that sounds cool, but it's not for me, man. Come on, man, get on the app, bro. Get on the app. Well, I mess around and create an account, but I go in it. And all I can tell you is it was like a non-stop telethon meets personal development conference meets live podcast. Some of y'all are like, oh, that sounds incredible. Most of y'all is like, absolutely not, which is the category I was in. No, I'm good. I'm supposed to sit here and listen to these people talk all day? Yeah, nah, I'm good. Turned it off. Never went back to it again. Till a little over a month later, my brother, shout out to him, Mr. Trent Shelton, he gets on this app. He tells me, you need to come. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, I think this app could be big for you. It's funny he said that because that app was not big for me. That's not the word for it, but we'll get there. As I debated joining, one night I get a notification that he's online. It's like 11, 12 at night. and I jump in, and my life forever changed because I never looked back. He coerced me somehow into using my voice, speaking before many of the speakers, celebrity speakers, entrepreneurs that I have admired, seen on TV, seen at all the biggest events, on the biggest stages. And I was able to make my first mark out here in the world as a person, communicating what it is that I want to achieve in the world, as a person that wanted to create positive impact in the world. Well, as a result of that decision, a lot of things changed for me. I, next thing you know, very swiftly started getting booked on stages, very swiftly started getting, just things started going bananas on all types of podcasts, paid to speak virtually. I ain't even gonna tell y'all the numbers, but it was crazy. I got paid to speak in my living room and it was 4 figures. I was like, wait a minute. How many, what? I don't gotta leave my living room on Zoom 30 minutes. It was a beautiful thing. That's all I could tell you. But as a result of that one decision, I'm here today. Like, as a result of that decision, everything changed. The influence changed, the impact changed, the income changed, and the ability to build a life doing what I love most all came as the catalyst of me making that one seemingly insignificant decision. Join an app that nobody knows about, to now become friends and colleagues with some of the biggest, most impactful humans on the planet. And that's where my journey began. And I know some of you are like, man, that's cool. You could consider it. Look, consider it what you want to consider it. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you some practicals here in a moment. But I share that story with you to encourage your heart to know that there's something that you're probably overlooking. There's something small. Somebody's badgering you. My buddy was badgering me about getting on that app. Like, I'm not getting on that app. There's somebody telling you, oh man, just come to this event. Come to this networking event. Oh, come to this engagement. Oh, come to this church. Come to this group. Come to this. Somebody's begging you for something. There's some little choice that you feel like, that's not important, or you're overlooking it, or you're loathing it, and you don't want to do it. And you are literally a choice away from taking a chance on yourself and your entire life looking different forever. So what are you waiting on? Stop excusing your way out of purpose and start taking the steps and going and being intentional to move toward that thing that you know that you need to do, that you don't really want to do, but you know you need to do it. You got to do it. So, as a result of that, I have now created a ripple effect to the tune of, oh my goodness, I can't even begin to count the numbers. But I know between all my socials, we reach over 500,000 people everywhere around the globe. Countries, this many countries, that many countries. Like, I know the impact that we are able to have on unique individuals just as a result of that one choice to show up, the influence, the impact, the opportunities, the stages, the TED Talk, the everything. My TED Talk and me being in Forbes came as a result of me making that decision to get on that app because of the human I met that was able to make those things happen for me. What is it that you need to do? What step do you need to take right now that you might not think is such a big deal, but small things become big things in the grand scheme when you just take action and show up? So if you want to create a ripple effect in your own life, I shared this with the community there in Chicago. I'm going to give you 4 keys to making a ripple in your own life, 4 keys to creating a ripple effect of impact for the rest of your life. And I'm going to do this rather quickly because we're here for a good time, not for a long time. Some of y'all are like, yeah, right. Now watch this. Watch me work. Number 1, the first step is to dream big. It all starts with a belief. It all starts with a seed of belief in your mind. And some of you cannot go and do anything big in the world because you've already put a lid, a self-imposed lid on yourself about what's possible. Well, that's not possible. That sounds good for you. Yeah, that's cool, but that wouldn't work for me. Things don't happen for me like that in my life, or what are the odds? And stop trying to do that. Do you want it or don't you? Do you have a dream or don't you? If not, that's the first step. You need to figure out what that is. Why are you here? What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? There's a place where you just delight, where you just are resting in full gratitude for living and for your gift. Your passions and your purpose collides in an incredibly impactful way. When you find that place, you figure out what you were put on a planet to do. And there is a way to take that, what you love most, your passion, and to monetize that in a way that provides value for other people. And then there's a value exchange, and you can get paid for your passion and walk in your purpose. You can. You know how I know? Hello. Because I did it, and there's nothing different about me than you other than I just took risk. I just took the steps, and I just went for it unapologetically, intentionally. And the results are what they are. But I dreamed to be one of the top speakers in the world one day, and somebody said, boy, you lost your mind. You failed public speaking in college. Don't people love to remind you of your shortcomings? I know what I did. You don't have to tell me. But that has not been a barrier from me making this a reality. I started with a dream and a seed of belief. So what do you believe for your future? Do you believe it's going to be all bad? Do you believe it's going to be terrible? You believe you're going to have so many setbacks? What do you believe about you? Do you hope for anything? Or no? Have you lost that ability? And what I'm challenging you to do is to lean in. I'm challenging you to move past that hurt and to open your mind and your heart to dream again, because ain't nothing gonna happen unless you have a dream. Once you create the dream, you put it on paper. Now you got a set of goals and a plan to follow to make said dream a reality. Now, once you have this dream, it all starts with that. Belief is the bedrock and the foundation for everything you will build in the future. Once you know what you believe, that leads me to number 2. And number 2, I love this one, guys. Number 2 is throw your rock. Throw your rock. I made that one up. But that's the same equivalency of shooting your shot. You know the saying goes, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You also will never create a ripple of impact if you don't throw your rock. You can hold it. You can protect it. I don't want to lose my rock. What if I lose myself? What if I lose my purpose? You ain't going to lose that. Throw it. The point is to make a ripple. The point is to create an impact. So throw your rock. And some of y'all are sitting here wondering why you're not winning a game that you've been unwilling to play. You cannot win a game that you are not willing to play. If you're sitting on the sidelines and feeling like you're losing, what do you think is going to happen if you're not even in the game? You got to get in the game. Remember years ago, a college roommate of mine and we used to talk about the lottery, winning the lottery, winning the lottery, winning the lottery, winning the lottery. What we would do if we won the lottery. How we were going to change all the people we were going to touch and serve if we won the lottery. And you know what happened after like a year of us talking about winning the lottery? We realized like, hey, you ever bought a lottery ticket? He's like, yeah, no, me neither. So yeah, then guess what? You want to know what was for sure never going to happen as long as we were on this planet? We're not going to win the lottery. We were never going to win the lottery. You know why? Because we weren't playing. You can't win if you're not willing to play. And this is the same thing for your life. You are not going to be able to win in life if you are unwilling to shoot your shot, if you are unwilling to throw your rock. Guess what? Okay, what do you stand to lose? Yeah, nothing, really. You don't lose anything if you ask people for opportunities and they say no, you lost nothing. But if you ask people and you say yes, it could change everything. I often say the difference between where you are and where you want to be is the steps you have been unwilling to take. And that is about taking action. It's about taking action. And if you shoot your shot, you throw your rock, you're taking action. So what action do you need to take? What person do you need to connect with? What relationship do you need to build? What course do you need to take? What coach do you need to sign up with? What certification do you need? I don't know the answer to these questions, but when I first started talking and I said, throw your rock, you already knew. You want to create a ripple. You want to create an impact. You want to reach people that far outlives you. You got to do it, man. Because you can. The third one is step 3. If you want to create a ripple effect of impact in your life, focus on the ripple and not the splash. Focus on the ripple and not the splash. You know, we live in a world where it's all about the splash. What is the splash? That's what you see first. Oftentimes you won't even see a ripple because that's quieter. It's not making a lot of noise. It's just going to spread out. Now, the ripple is more important. It's going to reach much further, but the splash is what you see. That's the sound. That's the whoosh, right? And the crazy thing about it is you will be tempted to compare your splash to someone else's splash and cause that to make you feel as if you're inadequate or you're not doing enough. Well, I dropped something. And I dropped my stone in the water, threw my rock, and it had a little splash. But then they threw their rock, and they made a big splash. They got 1 million followers on social media. They went viral. Their video got this many views. You can just go on and on, comparing yourself. They look like this, or they have this car, they have this house, they took this vacation, and all you're looking at is that splash. As if anybody really cares about that. We all see the splash and everybody goes, ooh, the oohs and ahs. But then what happens when the oohs and ahs go away? Nothing. You're on to the next splash and you've forgotten about that. Some of y'all saw something that blew your mind on social media yesterday and you don't even remember what it was today. He's right. What did I see though? What was that video? Dang, I don't even remember. Yeah, you don't remember. Because that's what the splash does. It's just like a whoosh and it's like, and then you're going about your business. But the ripple lasts much longer. So instead of comparing yourself, instead of putting yourself down, instead of ripping yourself apart to shreds, stop focusing on that. Stop comparing yourself and just lean in and focus on the action steps you need to take and throw your rock and watch your ripple go. It doesn't matter like how big your splash is. It doesn't matter how important the world says you are. None of that matters. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? And go give everything you got to making that a reality. Go give everything you got to accomplishing the goals and the dreams that you have on this earth because you can. Simple as that. The ripple, which is the continuation, the lasting effect that you were here. Not the splash. How many people? I would rather 10 million people be impacted by words I said and the internet never see it, it never goes viral, than to have one viral hit and, 2 people on camera. I video 2 people sharing their experience and it goes uber viral. That's great. That's cool. But then everybody's on to, that's a big splash. But I would much rather have that ripple that goes on forever of you sharing this with a friend, not viral. Just you, one person share it with one more person. And that one person being so impacted, they share it with one more person. That person's a teacher. They show it in their classroom. That classroom of 24 has friends and they show it to their friends. One of those friends shows it to their football team, and that's 78 people. You see what that ripple that gives and gives and gives and gives. Never went viral. No big splash. Yet impacted so many people. Don't get lost in the sauce trying to make the biggest splash. Focus on the ripple. Then you can create maximum impact. And the final step, as I bid you adieu, is one that I've been on for a while. But if you're going to make a ripple in this world, then you got to give everything you have to your dream. You got to give everything but up. Give everything but up. You've heard me say it before, but I'm going to say it again. You guys, it's going to cost you everything. Everything has a cost, but this is really going to have a cost. And if you're going to go and succeed at the highest level, it's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you resources. It might even cost you some relationships. It cost me some friends. It did. Or were they ever really friends? I don't know. That isn't here or there. That doesn't matter. You have to be willing to incur the cost to know that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be handed to you. It's not going to be laid out on a silver platter. No, instead it's going to be given to you in a way that you got to get up and go get it. And if you're willing to do that, then you can see your dreams become a reality. But just know that you will endure some difficult days. You're going to have some days where you don't feel like it. You got some days where you want to throw in the towel. Guess what? I'm filming this right now. It's a blizzard outside. There's a winter storm advisory for 24 hours. You know where I would love to be right now? Cuddled up, cozied, next to a fireplace, sipping apple cider. I don't even like apple cider, but it just sounds appropriate right now. and just watching something on Netflix mindlessly, but you know where I am? I'm right here. I'm in a booth. I'm creating. I am focused on my mission to create my ripple effect. So I'm going to give everything, but I'm not going to give up. When you have those difficult days where you don't feel like showing up, you don't feel like doing anything, don't give up. When you have days where you feel like nothing's working, don't give up. When you have days where people are telling you you're not good enough, don't give up. When you compare yourself to everybody on social media that seems to be doing better than you, don't give up. The point being, no matter what you face or where you find yourself, do not give up. And focus on your mission. And go and create your ripple effect of impact. Go and touch lives that you'll never know just because you showed up. Just show up in the world and give your gift wholly, fully, freely, unapologetically, and go create because you can. Go touch people because you can. Go heal people because you can. Go help people because you can. Go make your dream a reality because you can. And go build a legacy that far outlives you because you can. Straight like that. Bye.